Welcome back. If you want to ask questions on this subject of not just dyslexia but learning disabilities, you can call 0808-054-2233. That's 0808-054-2233. You can also tweet at CTV_Mary A while we continue the discussion. So, with all this improvement, I call it sudden. Can we say that he doesn't have the problem anymore?
No, there's no permanent cure for dyslexia.
No cure.
There's no cure.
Dyslexia is not a disease. It's a disorder. So you learn ways of coping.
Okay.
My son has overcome the reading part. He's smart when it comes to academics. He's reading okay. But we're still dealing with his attention deficit.
Okay, so do we call it a comorbidity at this point? Things happening together.
Yes, because you have some patients, some children that are just dyslexic. They don't have comorbidities. They don't have attention deficit disorder. They don't have speech impairments. It's just dyslexia. So if it's picked early, they can go on to be anybody they want to be. They can achieve a lot in life. So
they don't come behind their mates in achievements?
Not necessarily. They'll have to just do more work. Because when someone is reading, can read as fast as, they might just have to take more time in reading. Yes.
Let's quickly take this question from Tony. Tony, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm actually interested in this topic.
Go on.
Okay. Please. Okay. I want the young man there who has the first-hand experience with his son. I want him to give him more time to tell us more on this, because some of us have relatives that are suffering from some of this, but we have not attributed any of these things to this very topic being discussed today.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll do that. So let me ask you, I think I've asked this before, but let me ask you, how do you know, both of you can answer, how do you know it's a learning disability and not something else? Because some people could say, oh, my child is not doing very well. I've heard people, for example, tell me, I love to read, I can read anything, but I hate mathematics. Are we dealing with a learning disorder here?
Well, you have to, the hate for mathematics could be interest, it could be this learning disability. So you have to go through the process. You let the child be assessed, let the child be evaluated, let the child be put to test, so you could identify what exactly the problem is. Okay,
so here's the question I have. You have a child who is not doing so well.
Okay.
I'm sure most parents don't even know who to go to.
Okay, what do you mean by not doing well? Is it not doing well in school, or not doing well at home, or not
low grades
in school?
Low grades in school.
Let me take that. Let me take myself. My child had low grades. He's always D and F. And when he comes back, of course, I'm always scolding him, abusing him, calling him names, wasting my money on you. His sister and his brother were always shining. I'll praise them, I'll take them out and leave him at home. Wrong thing to do, right?
Wow.
Now, apart from that, as a result of that, his self-confidence.
Yeah,
when
those are the things that come as
depression can set in.
He sits in the house and we're talking. He knows what to say, but he's afraid to say because he's not sure of what he's going to say, on how we will react.
Receive it.
So low self-esteem stepped in. So then lack of coordination. His room is always in a state at the time before he...
Is it neat now?
Of course, he takes care of his things now.
Wow.
Because, again, this is the thing. While we're dealing... It's a holistic assessment, and that's why I keep saying this. When we do the assessment, one of the things we're trying to do is to ensure that we don't mislabel. Because when you misdiagnose, then you mistreat.
Yes.
So we do a thorough assessment. There are about 37 professional symptoms of dyslexia. We give the parents the questionnaire to fill it in and select, first and foremost. Then we do a cognitive skill assessment that also validates that parent's assessment. Sometimes we see parent assessment is different from our own assessment. And then we ask to reconcile. We have a conversation.
Let's quickly take Babajide on the line. Hello, Babajide. Good afternoon, Babajide. I'm afraid we can't hear you so well. Could you try again? Try again. no, that's not good enough. Let's continue.
Okay. Yeah, so when you do the assessment, you have to be very careful because some of these conditions co-present. It might look like something when it is not. So you need a professional diagnosis all the time to be able to differentiate it and then to give a proper diagnosis and say this is what it is. So that if it is not what we can manage, we can refer to other professionals. Okay. We've referred to neuropsychiatrists, we've referred to psychiatrists, we've referred to educational psychologists, we've referred to other places where we think that we refer to speech therapists, occupational therapists. Just even this week we referred one to speech therapy and the other one to occupational therapy. So we can do a proper diagnosis and be sure what it is before we can intervene.
Okay, now, Dr. Akere, let me just quickly ask her. Do you believe that some of these people who come to the hospitals are actually slipping through the cracks? Because 1 in 10 is a lot.
Yes, yes. Well, I believe the hospitals, you know, most parents will present to the hospital nearby. Okay. So I believe, fine, it's possible it's missed because the awareness is not so. The awareness is not as good as it should be. That's one. And two, it can be wrongly mislabeled, like he said. They can just say, oh, he's a slow learner, or he's just intellectually disabled or something. So it's possible the diagnosis is missed.
But we do have slow learners.
Yes, those are another category.
So my question is there a one way of approaching all these people to differentiate their problems? But before you go into that, let's take this from Austin. Hello, Austin.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Austin. What's your question?
Yeah, I'm watching the program right now, but I have a daughter here. Her own case is not dyslexia, but he has a little issue because she's 6 months old, so the mother did assembly. So now we want to start giving her, food. So we prepared the things that we want to be giving to her. But I understand that she's not taking it, but she is hungry. She's not taking the food. Even the milk that we bought for her, we try to make the milk in a warm water so to be given to her, but she's rejecting it.
Was she breastfed?
Yeah.
And you're just now moving on?
Yes, she's 6 months. Now we fed her with breast for 6 months. So now we want to switch to be mixing it up with the baby food.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Austin. That's not dyslexia, that's not dyscalculia or dysgraphia, but that is definitely a feeding problem. You butted in on this show, but let's quickly, I can even answer that for you. You have to start slowly, right?
Yes.
Doctor, take it from there. You're a pediatrician.
You have to try a variety of feeds. You can even do the locally available foods. You could do sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, make it soft. You have to try to identify what she'll like and start gradually. If she tolerated breast milk, she's going to tolerate normal milk too. So you have to just try to find what she likes and take it gradually from there.
Okay, so we're talking about a child coming with low grades.
Okay.
So far, you don't even know what's wrong with the child.
Yes. Okay.
They've told the mother she's a slow learner. If she's at the hospital, how do you approach it?
So she comes to my clinic, to the developmental assessment clinic, and we take a history. You start from the beginning. During childbirth, what happened? Well, while the mother was even pregnant, what were the events? Did she have a fever during pregnancy? Did she have rash? Because she could have some things, maybe what we call neonatal infections that could have affected the child. So those are some of the things you ask. Then the delivery process, how was it prolonged? Did the child cry immediately after birth? Was there asphyxia, that's blood not getting to the brain? Did the child have jaundice at birth? So those, you are trying to look for precipitating risk factors that might affect the brain, and you ask all those questions. After doing all that, you now go to the main problem. While the child was growing, how were the milestones? Were they delayed? Did he sit when he was supposed to sit? Did he crawl when he was supposed to crawl?
And smile,
social smile, yes, because that has to do with autism and social communication skills and all that. So that's how you go from there, and you examine the child. And from examination, you do a neuro examination. In your neuro examination, you try to check for intellect, memory.
Doctor, before we go, because I know you can go on and on, I have one final, really short question. Well, observation. It seems to me that with this kind of discovery, almost no child can be termed dull. Am I right? Almost no child.
From my point of view, and from the point of view of neuroplasticity, the new science of the brain says there is no such brain as a useless brain.
Okay.
There are only brains, there are only brains less used.
Okay, I've got to close now. Thank you so much, and thank you for being with us and calling in. Have a wonderful day. I am Mary Alale Yusuf.
Okay.